Next aspect of the business plan. We need to identify for the customer the offers that we have. This is the menu of products featured on our sales page or our sales pages. Now, remember this, your coaching or your sales page may have a few core products or programs listed. There is a module that I'm pointing out for you to review right here on the screen. It is what needs to be on your sales page. Now, if you'll go to that module, it's got a template that you can print. It leads you step by step by step, exactly what order to say things, how to highlight it, how to build that sales page. We can even give you a template to where you can kind of change the button colors, change the size, change the fonts, change the pictures, change all the elements, and you can make it look like you, but you just start with a template. So again, we've got to highlight for the customer where they can buy stuff and take action with us. Now, there are 5 aspects of the sales page that are related to this menu of products. The menu of products is, it's just like you go to a restaurant. They got a menu. Like you can buy for this. Are there things that they sell that aren't on the menu? Yes, absolutely. But when you're starting off, the first time you walk into that restaurant, you're going into Starbucks, you're going to order off the menu. You don't order off the secret menu. You haven't been there long enough to learn it. Is there a secret menu? Yes, there is a secret menu. However, the tendency sometimes we have as thought leaders, content creators, is to just come up with all the, oh, I could do this, or I could do that. Oh, I could do this for you. I could do that. I could do, but you got to have a core offer and several core offers, a very small menu that people can choose from. Now, if they want to customize that, if somebody comes up to your Starbucks and says, hey, okay, so I like the coffee there. Can you put whipped cream on it? Whipped cream on a coffee is not on the menu. But if people ask for it, you can make the exception. But we don't want to have a menu that says coffee with whipped cream, coffee with whipped cream and syrup, coffee with whipped cream, syrup, sprinkles. No. You let them ask for that stuff. You just have the basic menu. Now, on the sales page, at the top of the page, you've got a one-liner. That includes the problem you solve and the potential you lead people towards. This comes from your framework. You might remember, hopefully by the time you've gotten here, you have already watched or listened to the training on how to architect and articulate your framework. You've probably already, hopefully, watched, listened to the How to Get Paid for What You Know module. That's the ABCD, the 4-step process to monetize your expertise. The one-liner really highlights all of this: problem, potential. Now, what you're going to sell in the menu of products is different versions of that. Number 2, you highlight the stakes. What happens if they stay where they are and they don't take action with you? Well, they start falling off in those pits on the side. They don't move forward across the path. And again, you're going to want to probably watch the architecture framework module. Let me highlight what that means, the number 2. So if Amplify is helping you platform your message so you get paid for what you know, the stakes are this, or the reason you don't get paid for your expertise. The reason right now you got all these great ideas, but they're not making money. The reason you have this idea for a fantastic nonprofit or ministry or organization or book or course or coaching idea or whatever, but the reason it's not making money, here's some of the reasons why. Some of the stakes, some of the pits. Number 1, you undervalue your expertise and your message. So you wonder if anyone is actually willing to pay for what you know. Why? Because you undervalue it. You don't value, because it's so easy for you, but it's a struggle for everyone else. Number 2, if you were to charge people, you're not even sure how much it's worth. Number 3, you get overwhelmed with the technology, and so you just get stalemated, you stall out, you don't even know where to begin. Number 3, you think you don't have a big enough following online. I don't know enough people. So you wonder how you'd even let people know that you've got this awesome thing that you know is life-changing for people to buy. Number 5, you've got great ideas, but you're unsure how to get those ideas out of your head and into a format like a book or a course or a coaching program that people can access and understand in a way that it actually makes sense. Number 6, you've actually tried it before. You probably spent a lot of money on it. It didn't work. Number 7, man, it's just too hard. Like, you have the expertise in the area that you have the expertise. You don't have the expertise in the area of how do you monetize that expertise. That's hard. So right there on the sales page, that's where we would say the stakes. Now you know similar stakes like that, why people don't take action on whatever it is that you're teaching. That's what you'd share. You need 5 to 7 of these to express empathy and to show them that you know and understand exactly where they are. Okay, so when I just highlighted all of those, you're probably sitting there going, oh yeah, like, I mean, how many of those resonate with you? You're going through that going, okay, yeah, like, okay, he gets it. Yes, oh yeah, I've tried. Yep, oh yep, oh yeah, don't, yeah, okay, see, you need 5 to 7. And when people walk through that on your sales page, they know that you know where they are because you've been there through. So what you do is you show them 3 steps forward, how to take action, how to begin making progress immediately. Now, I'm not going to drill down onto this because we talk about it in that sales page training. But what I would say is something like, hey, access the resources below. Start applying the concepts immediately, amplify your message, and get paid for what you know. Yeah, something like that. Something very simple. Something that leads people through. I think our content creation made simple, which is all kind of the 7 hacks that we use, our systems and processes to, map out 30 days of social media time in 3 hours. It's some of the hacks of repurposing all the content. It's some of the hacks like that. I think the 3-step process is, something to the essence of articulate the framework that you have. That's step 1. And then B, we wrap the processes and systems into that. And then 3, we share it everywhere with less stress and more success. Okay, so you see, you're really just showing them, hey, I've got a plan. And now this is not your framework. This is just kind of showing them, hey, look, if you do this, this, and this, it's going to work. And I'm going to lead you forward. Now, number 4, this is on the sales page. You're including a longer description of what you offer. Sometimes we call this the fine print. This is where we highlight the framework sometimes. Sometimes I might drop this after the menu of products. Again, a lot of times I say this is kind of part art, part science. You kind of figure out what works best for you, for your audience. You test it. You put it up there. You let it sit for a little bit. You don't change the play while you're running the play in the middle of it. You don't just do it based on how you feel in an instant. You don't make feeling-based decisions on some of this. You make actual fact-based decisions. And then here's what it is. Number 5 on this page, we want to show people how to do business with you. This is the menu of products. So now notice, I asked you in number 2, 8 questions. Get honest answers about. This is to build our business plan. So how much of what stuff do you have and how much of it do people need to buy in order for you to hit certain income goals and all that kind of stuff? And then I've said, okay, if that's the case, let's identify this for the customer. Let's create a menu of products. How do we create the menu of products? Okay, I get it, a little bit of review. Number 1, we're going to remind them of the problem we solve, the potential we lead them to. Number 2, we're going to tell them what's at stake if they don't take action. Oh yeah, you'll still be stuck not knowing what to charge. You'll still be stuck, it didn't work before, it didn't work. No, I'm giving you a path to monetize your message. See, number 3, you're going to show them how to step forward. Number 4, you're going to show them a little bit of the framework. Sometimes I call this the fine print. Number 5, you are going to show them right here the menu of products. You are going to show them how to do business with you. You are going to, this is kind of the buy now. This is the take action here. This is the, oh, hey, we just built a business plan around this stuff. Here it is. This is where there is a direct call to action. Now, let me point this out. This is probably on the coaching page. It could be on a sales page, but ideally right here, I'm going to say it's on the coaching page. Okay. And if you need clarity on that, just reach out to me and let's jump on a quick call and let's talk through it. Okay. So for each offer, each item on the menu of products, we are going to have a title. Now we're not going to say the title of this is, we're just going to say the title. So this is my book, Amplify. This is the course, Making and Marketing Your Book. So like title's just a placeholder. Okay. We're going to have a brief description. So this might be, if the title, if I was selling the module on how to get paid for what you know, I would say title, get paid for what you know, course, brief descriptor. I'd say maybe 45-minute on-demand course, outlining 4-step process to monetize your expertise. Something like that. I would have right here the price or the next step and a clear call to action. Now, that clear call to action might be buy here. It might be sign up. It might be it might be you might direct them to the sales page for more detail. It might be, if you're going to sell speaking, it might be apply here. If it's coaching, it might be apply here. Speaking might be more like inquire here, give us more information. But you're going to have specific steps right here people can take. So here it is. I'm going to give you 6 examples on this menu of products that you can include. And I want you to notice this. Each of these basically teach the same exact content with a different degree of relationship based on where they are in the funnel. Now, way earlier, we were talking in the module about architecting your framework, and I referred to in that you could teach that framework in multiple ways. You could teach it in low ticket offers. Now look at the top of the funnel here, where people have less access to you, and there are more people that purchase. That looks kind of like this. So books and courses, those are cheaper than coaching and masterminds, one-to-one consulting. Those products cost less. People don't have any access to you. So a lot more people purchase a book than they purchase one-to-one consulting. But you're really selling in the book the same content that you're selling in coaching. It's just in coaching, the product costs more because people have more handholding. They have more access. They have some accountability. They have a different relationship with you. You are walking with them through that process. They have more access, and based on the price point and your availability, far less people purchase that than purchase a book. So you've got all of these different offers everywhere in the funnel. If you flip this upside down the other way, it looks like a cone. It's more called a value ladder. People start at the bottom and they ascend, they scale up the value ladder. We've showed you graphics on that in other modules, so you probably can visualize that in your head even now. But it is, notice right here, each of these, the same content. It is, what's the variable? It is a different degree of relationship based on where they are in that funnel. Are they higher and the products cost less, and so there's less access to you, there's more people purchasing? Or are they lower in the funnel, and because they're lower in the funnel, the products cost more and they have more access? So at each price point, the core message remains the same. The difference is the level of interaction they have with you, the expert. That's going to adjust appropriately based on where that person is inside of that funnel. And so what I've done right here is I've listed 6 offers that you can have on this page. 6. Okay. Number 1, you might have a self-guided school. But let's just talk through what that looks like. That is a course. These are just ideas, okay, for you to kick around. You're gonna fill in your own. You can get the worksheet out and write down. If you got the PDF, print it out. If you got the little workbook, print it out, write down the answers. Self-guided school, option 1, last 7 months. Here's the description. Now notice I didn't register description or write out description. I just kind of describe it. It's virtual via video, new module and exercise released every week via checklist, so you know exactly where you are, what to do next, etc. That's the self-guided school. You might have a mastermind group. It's in person every other week. So the content's released each week, but so it's kind of following the course, right? The self-guided school, except for what's happening here is different access because we are releasing new content each week, but we're meeting every other week, exploring questions, implementing the concepts. Register here. 2 options, $3,000 or $500 a month for 7 months. So it lasts the same as the self-guided school, but it's a little bit more. If they pay in full, it's cheaper, right? And notice, I've just kind of listed here 2 different options for you. So you can kind of build this out either way, just to show you the difference. Okay, so 7 months, it would be, let's just say here, if they went with this option, it would be $3,500. So you might want to say pay in full is cheaper, pay by the month, it's a little bit more. One-to-one coaching. So this one, $6,000 or $1,000 a month. So notice it's cheaper to do it in a group, but if they want more, you're going to work with them through the same framework. Notice self-guided school, that's the course. Mastermind, that's the course plus a small group of people, maybe a group of 5 people, group of 8 people. You can figure that out. One-to-one consulting, you do that $1,000 a month for 7 months or $6,000. Same core content. It's just, hey, do you want to learn this on your own? Self-guided school. Do you want to learn this with a group of people? Or do you want me to walk with you through this? 1-day workshop, crash course in 7 hours. So they're going to learn the complete framework in a day. They're going to see the bigger picture. You're going to clarify their next steps. That means next steps maybe with you. You might coach them after that. Or you might lead a mastermind group for some of their employees at a discounted rate, all of them together. So the call to action here would be apply or inquire. I would not list this. I would just, for your purposes, know, hey, if you're going to come teach this framework to their staff, it might be $5,000 plus your travel. Option number 5, train your team. So I'll work with you and your staff. I'll come on site to you and help your team implement the complete framework over the next year. Or you might could say, or several months. It includes a full day once a quarter along with online Zooms in the off months. They inquire here. You might say the price for this is $36,000 per year, plus travel expenses on the 4 in-person meetings. What are you going to teach on that? The same stuff. So speaking, option 6, I'll come address your staff workshop or conference audience for a keynote. This is the perfect introduction to the framework. Apply. So right there, your price would include your day rate, possibly a 2-day rate, plus travel expenses for 2. Now notice, let's just put this in Amplify world. If you wanted to go buy the complete course right now, I think it's more than $3,000. But let's say I was going to drip it out. It's already broken down. I've got automated email sequences. They're going to just unlock it. As soon as you watch one, it's going to unlock the other. But if you don't watch it, it's going to unlock it automatically in another week so that you're moving through this content and it was self-guided. No interaction with me. You just do it. Option number 2 might be, okay, I'm going to unlock that content for you and I'm going to send you the email sequences, but every other week we're going to get together with a group of people. We're going to bounce this idea around and we're going to talk about, okay, how are they applying it? And when I coach them, I'm actually coaching you. And when you ask questions, it's questions they either have had or they're going to have. And so there's a lot of crosstalk and we're working through this together. Option 3, it's a little bit more expensive because I'm going to walk you through the entire framework on your own. Option 4 may be, okay, you've got a nonprofit or a church or an organization, and you want me to come teach your team about these processes. You want me to come interact with your social media team, with your interns and with your people and help them walk through this. So I can come do that in a day, and that might lead to something else, or it might not. It might lead to, hey, okay, you guys have the bigger picture now, crash course, and now I'm going to take one person through the self-guided school. Or I'm going to take, a handful of you through the mastermind, or some of you are going to join a mastermind I already have, or I'm going to do one-to-one coaching with people that need to know this at a very high level. We make that pivot. Or this one could be, hey, not just a one-day workshop. I'm going to walk with your team and they're going to have access to me kind of as an adjunct staff member for a year. Or this could be, hey, I'm just going to come do a speech and we'll see what goes from there. What are we teaching at it? The same content at each one. Okay, here's what you need to remember. It's important to highlight all 6 of these. Or if you're only going to do 4, 4 of these. Or the first one might be not even a school, it might be a book, or it might be a mini course. Okay, these are just examples. In order to do business with you, people need to know what you can do, how to engage your services, and where to take action. They need to know all those things. So they got to know what can you do? Well, you can do a course. What can you do? Okay, you can do a self-guided school. What can you do? Oh, you can do a mastermind group. What can you do? Oh, you can come and train. Oh, what you can walk with us for a year as an adjunct on-call fractional, expert that's kind of on staff but not on staff, but we don't have to pay a salary. We can just play a fraction of it. And oh, wow. Like they need to know that. If they don't know, for instance, that you're available to speak, they're never going to hire you to speak. Or if they do, it's just going to be an accidental, hey, do you do this? If they don't know how to engage your services either, they don't know, hey, notice these, register here. Notice this, apply here for the workshop. Notice this, apply or inquire here about training your team. Notice this, notice this one right here for the self-guided school, register here. If they don't know how to engage your services and where to take action, they're not going to. So I see in the space a lot of people, specifically life coaches, and the stats are something like 95% of certified life coaches. That means they paid big bucks to go through something. Like they were convinced this is awesome. 95%, the stats say, never coach anybody. And one of the biggest reasons they don't is because they don't clearly state the problem they solve, the potential they take people to. They don't outline a path. And by the way, if you're credentialed and certified somewhere, that's awesome. However, most people don't care as much about your certification as they do about the capacity to solve the problem. So lead with the problem and talk about the path, not the certification. Like there is a place we talk on the thought leader page about where to include the certification, where to talk about that, because it's amazing that you did that. It's the equivalent of, in most people's mind, what college did you go to? That's great. It's incredible that you graduated from college, but most people that I'm leading through, even in the faith space of platforming their message, they couldn't care less that I completed a 3.5-year master's degree in theology at Baylor University, that I did it in 2 years. They don't care. It's irrelevant to where they are. Now, once they find out afterwards, like, oh, that's cool. It's just kind of like your certification, your credential. So you don't lead with that, as awesome and amazing as it is. And that's why most life coaches have this vacuum, I think, of clients. They're not showing them what you can do, how people can engage your services, where to take action. Okay, so once you've mapped all that out, you got to be clear, with the questions that we answered, the 8 questions. And then you got to be clear, okay, what am I going to show people?